Welcome to the Didi Lital Show. Advice, thoughts, and stories from a married couple on cybersecurity, technology, and life in general. Now here are your hosts, Didi and Lital.
Hello and welcome to the Didi and Lital Show. Didi, you're still remote, even though you put a background of a porch. You're miles away, but you miss our home.
Yes, I miss our home. Our home is awesome. Our home is really, really awesome.
It's pretty cool to sit at on the back porch. Yeah.
Yes, it is really nice to sit on the porch. Also, so Lital had the terrible idea, which she wanted to talk offline, but I wanted to talk about it online as we record.
Don't do that with whatever cards you're doing. Don't stop playing with it. It's annoying.
Okay. Everything I do is annoying. That's why we're happily married for 30 years.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I wanted to talk about is skiing in MLK. The first year.
Monday is MLK. I told you, why don't you take the kids and go skiing on Monday? There is snow, finally. It snowed.
It's terrible. Terrible idea. Worst idea ever. So
why is that?
Let's recap our MLK skiing experience. First time I came to the US, first MLK, I went skiing with Guy in Sunapee. I don't think I've ever been this cold in my life, and I skied in British Columbia in February. This was the worst ever experience of my life.
Why was it like single digit Fahrenheit?
The basic temperature was in the teens in Fahrenheit, but with the wind chill factor, the wind was so strong that when I took some of the blast off jumps, the wind stopped me in my track. The wind, I felt like the roadrunner or the coyote chasing the roadrunner. You jump and the wind stops you and you fall. Terrible experience. Horrible wind. Guy and I skied 3 times, skied to the chalet, try to get more and more heating gear. And eventually we said, enough's enough. Haven't the Jewish people suffered enough? And went on our merry way. Then there was us skiing in MLK, if you remember, with Nora.
Okemo in Vermont. Oh my God, that was cold. It was so cold.
It was so cold. Nora and I were able to still go out one more run after. If you remember, Omri basically.
Really, I'm checking the forecast. It's not that bad on Monday.
We always check the forecast.
I'm going to check it. I'm going to check it.
We always check it. We always say it's not going to be that bad. I skied Waterville Valley and MLK. It was miserable. Remember, it was so cold that even Ron broke. And Ron is like the most rigid one of us all.
Yeah.
Every time we go skiing in MLK, it ends up a disaster.
Didi, it's -3 Celsius. It's not that cold.
In what place of the world it's -3?
In Newton, Mass. I didn't check.
That doesn't matter. Yeah. What matters is what's the temperature on the peak of Mount Sunapee or in the peak in Okemo. We're going to freeze our asses off.
So you're saying people are not supposed to ski on MLK. That's not what the day is for. It's a day off, celebrate, the civic rights movement and forget about skiing.
No, it's just don't fall for the trap of skiing in New England on MLK. This is the worst day of skiing of the year. Always the coldest. It's always the most miserable. I always feel like I'm going to lose a digit.
Well, that's why we just book a very expensive trip to France, French Alps. And we're going to do February in Alpe d'Huez, Les Arcs.
Alpe d'Huez, yes.
Yeah.
We're going to ski.
Like we should in a country snobs. Being the snobs that we are.
No, it's not only that. In a country where fun is legitimate. The US makes skiing fun illegitimate. You either need to spend an insane amount of money. By the way, when I thought that, hey, we made a mistake, we should have gone out west, somebody just told me how much they spent going out west. I said to myself, ooh, That's been
The flight to Utah were twice as expensive as flight to Geneva.
yes, exactly. And it's not just the flights; it's everything.
And then the food. I mean, we are going into an all-inclusive resort, so at least food is all included and stuff. The Utah stuff, we know how expensive it is to buy food on the mountain.
But everybody listening to us right now is saying, "Poor little rich people."
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying. The snobs.
The snobs, yes. Drinking real beer from a real glass on the mountain for lunch changes the ski experience for me.
Well, I've been dry for months now because I realize how bad drinking is. Even one glass of wine really removes your REM sleep. It affects it. And since I have my new Phoenix 7, which is what I bought for myself as a Christmas, Hanukkah birthday gift, you also got one. I have really good tracking of my sleep, and I decided my New Year resolution is to prioritize sleep. I think we discussed it in one way, shape, and form. I'm actually trying to make you have the same resolution of prioritizing sleep. But for those of you that are,
I'm prioritizing sex.
Start thinking about you can prioritize whatever you want. Sleep is what I'm prioritizing. And the really interesting thing that I just noticed is that my Garmin knows that I'm getting sick. So I was out in New York, sales kickoff, a lot of people in the room. It's a petri dish. I always get sick after those kind of things. And this morning when I woke up, it was like telling me my HRV, heart rate variance, while sleeping is less than ideal. I might be overtired and might be sick, and I am feeling a little bit under the weather. So, wow, awesome. I like those sensors. I like them. I mean, yes, I am feeling a little bit under the weather. Yes, good that you know it from my sleep. So yeah, prioritize sleep. Don't drink. Don't have coffee after 1 p.m. Oh my God. That's a huge change. Stop having caffeinated drink after 1 p.m. It ruins your REM sleep. Period.
It doesn't ruin my REM sleep.
It's what you think. Yeah.
No, I'm tracking with the same watch, and I know it doesn't. But you know what improves my REM sleep?
What improves? Not sleeping with me.
No, taking an Advil. Take an Advil before sleep. It's like insane. Because of the cough I've been taking, I took Advil one night yes, one night no, one night yes, one night no, while being here, and it's like significant improvement in quality of sleep. Like significant. I guess it opens up the nostrils, removes inflammation and shit like that. Because of that, I wonder if it impacts the snoring meter. I'm wondering if we should also track the snoring meter.
There is an app apparently that you can put, and it will record your snoring. We can try that.
Yes.
I don't need an app to tell you you're snoring.
Of course I snore. I'm a fat old white dude. We snore. That's like the basic description of who you are and what you do. You snore.
So let's move to the topic of the day. As always, random things that happens in our daily life kind of like let us think about our jobs. We got an email like a day or two ago from Newton School Foundation. It's basically a nonprofit that raises funds to help the schools in a already pretty rich town invest more in some areas of schooling. And they are raising funds for some extra math classes or something like that for kids in need. Sounds really good. And the interesting thing is that the mail that they sent us to ask for donations basically had a picture that no way on earth was taken in our schools.
And it specifically said, look at our kids, very enthusiastic about math. I didn't care on who is in the picture if it was not for the text.
So the picture demographically is clearly not the kids in our schools because they don't look like them. Also, the picture have kids with sticky notes and they are putting them in order. It has nothing to do. If you zoom in, it's not math. For sure, it's not a math class. And they present it as if it is kind of if it was taken in Newton schools, at least the way they place it. So I was like curious about this stupid thing. I don't know why. Maybe I was bored for a second in one of the sessions. Don't listen to me saying it. People at Beyond Identity sessions were amazing. And so I just used Google search.
So you did it on a train. You had a 4-hour train ride.
Maybe I did it. I don't remember when I did it. It doesn't matter. But the point is, I searched the damn picture and you see that, it has been used in multiple education-related mailers, websites, blogs as of 2017. So this specific picture is being presented as authentic kids in our schools in the UK, Australia, and here in Newton, Massachusetts, even though it looks like kids in Indonesia. That's the reality, which is probably the original source of the picture. Looks like Indonesia. And it, like, I sent it to Didi and told him how ridiculous it is. Like, don't they have real pictures of real kids that are getting those funds, that are signing a waiver and are okay with sharing, or teachers that want to promote this? And, if you're sending me a mail, show me the real kids that are the beneficiaries of my funds. And it's totally fine if you don't want to expose minors. That's not what I'm saying. If you want to get my funds, if you want an emotional reaction from me and not me saying, this is ridiculous, what stupid stuff you're doing, it's the stupidest marketing on earth, it has to be authentic. Yes. Which leads to the topic of
stock pictures. So the thing for me was authenticity in stock pictures. In general, I have a strong aversion to stock pictures. But wait, as the marketeer, please explain to our audience, what do stock pictures mean? Because I did not know it. I knew I didn't like it, but I didn't know the name and I didn't know how it worked until COVID, when I was sitting next to you and you explained this to me. So I think it's worthwhile for a lot of the engineers and other who said to understand what we're talking about.
So if you think about it, we marketeers, we need photos, especially since you have all those social media platforms. Photos are so much, images are so much better than words. They have a stopping power. We relate to them. They're funny. They make us more emotional. So marketeers need a lot of images. And you know what? Images are hard to create. You need to take images, even though it's stupid if you think about it. We all have phones and we all take thousands of them. The cloud is basically collapsing with the terabytes of our stupid photos and stupid, there's so many of them. So the thing is, sometimes probably 20, maybe even 30 years ago, maybe more, a few companies, Shutterstock, Getty Images, were starting to create stock images, basically images that can fit any situation in life. A guy in a suit, a girl in a suit, two people with a suit, white and black person in a suit, white and black people sitting and talking with coffee in a coffee shop with a laptop that looks like an Apple, like a Mac, with a Windows machine, with a cell phone on, with this and this and this. So basically covering every reality of life and making money out of marketeers and ad agencies that don't want to go and create a unique photo shoot of the circumstances, but basically pay royalties and take a good produced high quality, and I'm putting like basically super mediocre and funny and stupid and not authentic. But the internet is basically flooded with images that are mass produced. Some models that get few hundreds of dollars in participating in them, and then they used like you can see a specific image being used in 10 different to promote 10 different products in 10 different circumstances, and just reproduced over and over again. The most ridiculous one are not even being touched. They're being put as is. Sometimes they even keep the description coming from Getty Image and Shutterstock, which is like stupid. It tells you it's like a generic male and female sitting in a business setup. So it's prevalent because it's easy. It's prevalent because, you need images.
Right. You forgot the distribution rights.
Well, yes, because
every image has the rights of the creator and the rights of things that are in the background.
What makes it easy with Getty Images, with Shutterstock, is that getting them paid is easy. They tell you if you want to use it in press release, you pay that much royalties. If you put it on your website, it's that much. It simplifies the whole thing. You can buy it as a service with a package. So you buy a package and it tells you you can download and use in your website 100 images a month, for example. So it simplified the whole thing. It streamlines the whole thing. And now, of course, they have some AI generators there. They added all kinds of filters and things you can use. Of course, there are tons of also videos now that are generated and easy to use. And it makes marketing lame and boring and not inspiring. And everybody on my teams know that I so much prefer to never use stock bank images if we can, because even if you don't know a picture is an image bank picture, you get this feeling that is out of context. I cannot explain it. It's like you were not ever aware of it, but something in you felt that they're not right, right? Yeah. So get me the non-marketeer, not somebody in the industry feeling about this.
Yes. So in the late 90s, early 2000s, there were all these motivation pictures and corporate motivation pictures that were hung everywhere that says, as a team, we do this better, and you got stock image. And as a team, we get further. Or
the office space headlines with somebody standing with
or
business
a rowing team, or a rowing team, or things like that, or a hockey team with clearly people that they've never
hockey
played.
Team in business suits,
and so, things like that. a whole bunch of shit like that.
Cliches.
Yes, and it created like a whole industry of what we call demotivators.
Cringe.
Like you saw the same picture of the motivators, like a team high-fiving themselves, and it's a team together. We're dumber than each of us alone, and things like that. And together we get close. We remember that my joke about you're gonna go close versus go far. It has a lot of these things.
You will achieve instead of greatness, nothingness, smallness.
So these came back with that, and it really transmitted the message that most of us, when we see these things and those images and those when there's all these cliche releases, it goes back to your friend Lockhart or Lockheed or whatever his name is, that was talking about the Lockheed about the lobby of the Marriott.
Christopher Lockett. He talks
Yeah.
about the unmemorable locations in your life and the lobby of the Marriott. Nobody
Yes.
ever says, what a magnificent lobby after they walked into a lobby of a Marriott.
Yeah.
Because the lobby of a Marriott all looks the same,
So-
same carpet, same design. That is
So
supposed to be unmemorable.
Yes.
By definition, the brand is unmemorable.
Yes. So I'm removing my background to show you something. You can see that there are these pictures here on the wall.
You're at a Residence Inn by Marriott?
Yes, which is again a Marriott. Now, why did
It's
I
art.
why did I do this to kind of show the pictures? Because right now the lobby is full of that set of stock images being replaced by another group of stock images. All of them as stupid and as useless as this one. And it's really sad because in our office, in the duo office, there's a lot of original art. And I can tell you, as biologically speaking, when I'm exposed to real art, even if it's not good, but somebody actually put an effort into this versus these stock images, I feel better. I biologically feel better. And I think
So-
this is something that somebody needs to take a look at. Also, when I look at websites and I see these meaningless stock images of here's our team, here's our this, here's our that, it annoys me. And last but not least, one of the things I don't like is right now there's a whole bunch of efforts to use those stock images to cover up the lack of natural diversity that exists and mask it with fake diversity. It's like all these Subaru ads. You go in and see a Subaru ad, you see a group of multi-generational, multi-ethnicity, multi-sex gender, and whatever it is, it creates this fakeness that is obviously fake when real exists. And I prefer to see real versus fake because fake is easy to see. And this assumption that we're stupid and we can't see fake and will not have a strong built-in aversion to fake is important. It relates to our conversation about bullshitting versus lying. Bullshitting is good. Lying is bad.
because people understand that you bullshit. They
People
see
understand that you're
and-
bullshit. And people also understand most people, unless you're a super nerdy engineer that comes out of the Technion, you understand that in life, not everything of it is precise. Unless you're Rain Man, you don't care if it's 39 or 40. Nobody cares if you ran 7 kilometers or 725. People understand the estimate. They understand the
subtleties.
exactly. They understand that you need place for creative, uh, uh, for literal creativity. But this thing is like a suppressor of creativity. And I think
It's like
suppressing
enforcing quotas on images.
yeah,
Kind of,
exactly.
creating a fake a facade.
It's a desire to create fake Facebook. If you remember, we were discussing fake Facebook lives of I sit here drinking my chocolate and everything is awesome versus saying I'm freezing my ass off here because I could have said, oh, I'm here in Ann Arbor. I'm drinking this amazing latte, which by the way is really, really good. They have really good coffee shops and they have very good Italian restaurants without insane US sizes. One of the things I loved the most yesterday when we went to dinner is I got a plate of pasta that was manageable, not a US Carmine size that you feel obligated to finish. So that's a side discussion. But the majority of people that are sitting here and want to present oh, this is so awesome. So the sun came up here at 8 a.m. and it's gonna go down at 3 p.m. and we're not cold and miserable. That's a fake facade. Say things that are real. The coffee is good, but the weather sucks. You remember that image of here's how we look in our minds with the winter coats, and here's how we actually look like a fur ball in reality.
Like a Michelin baby,
Yes,
dressed up in those huge. Yeah, you think you look chic in your new parka. You actually
Yes.
look like a Michelin.
But that's the thing that irks me.
I totally agree. I think that there are two things here. There is like the easy button that I think a lot of marketeers, because we have so many to-dos and because we are the department of doing, we're the department of marketing, basically keep on doing a lot of stuff instead of thinking of creating a market. Because we're doing that, it's busybody work. We will just take the easy way. And yes, AI tools are there to help us and make things more efficient. But if they completely removes our creativity and our way to do things, people will not read the shit that we write. And people will not look at the visuals that we put out. I think marketeers tend to think they can game the system instead of understanding that human beings have a really good internal way of feeling lack of authenticity. And authenticity is the best seller. When you tell a good story that is real, people like it and relate, and they're gonna keep on reading your content. If they come to a podcast and you're telling the truth, and you call your kids the way Didi calls the kids at home, and we're not kind of like making our perfect life perfect, even though we have a nice backyard. You see the good, the bad, the ugly. I think people prefer it. It's authentic. This is what it is. I think we are in an age that people reject the kind of like portraying to be perfect, and image stock bank pictures are basically that. They were created to kind of like put the right ethnicities, make sure you have that. It fits every checkbox of corporate life, instead of the reality that the room of people that you have is basically a mix of, I'm thinking about sales kickoff, mix of female, male, different ages, different ethnicities. And more importantly, nobody, one person came up with a suit. Another one came with, the Lululemon and look like a legit pants, but it's actually kind of like leggings or whatever they created a bunch of.
I can have a whole podcast about
the look legit for what?
How awesome my balls feel in Lululemon pants.
Yeah.
After a week in jeans, what my balls crave Lululemon.
Oh my God. That's R-rated. Yeah. So like the room doesn't look like something homogeneous. Like some people are like in the Lululemon, in the sweats. Some have like polo shirts. Some have the Beyond Identity t-shirt, and some have a suit and a blazer. It's like a mix, and that's how the room looks like. Go into any meeting room in America these days. This is how it looks like. Nobody have like the perfect suit anymore, and nobody have like the most fashionable things. People are kind of like throwing it all. That's how it looks like. That's reality. And people get the BS radar is so high that they get it when you're like faking it. So my point is, don't. I told my team, use as many of our own people when you are posting on social. Use them for the website. Make it authentic. Those are real people that I know who they are. I know their story, and they are way more attractive in the authenticity. So I think that's important. Otherwise, why are we doing it? If you don't have a unique story to tell, if you don't have unique imagery to put, why waste the time? So let AI do the whole thing, and why do you even have marketeers here? Let the chatbot run your marketing department.
And if you have a room full of white dudes as your executive team and you want to show diversity, maybe fix the problem at the core, not use an image
Making
bank.
it with the image bank to put some different colors and ethnicities in. Yeah, that's true. I hope everyone checks Beyond Identity video ads, because they're made with real people that work at Beyond Identity, and it's awesome. No actors.
Awesome. Yes. So that's, I think, was that for us.
I'm not donating money for this cause by the Newton Foundation. Sorry. That didn't work. I just don't believe you when you put this thing and make it feel like it was legitimately taken in a school district. As I said, looks like
I have the same problem right now with the commercials that are done by the Bruins games when they are trying to show a whole bunch of ethnicities going to Bruins games, when in reality it looks like the SNL sketch of Bill Burr and Casey Affleck going to Dunkin' Donuts.
Well,
that's a lot closer. That looks a lot closer to reality.
Well, speaking of that, all those pharma commercial you have, which are the only commercial you mostly get these days on cable TV, all of them look like, they kind of picked and choose the ethnicities to check boxes.
Well, the pharma stuff, that's for a different reason. Because let's face it, a whole bunch of skinny people running on a beach are not the target for Ozempic.
Oh, you don't have them in the Ozempic commercial. I think it's like
no. You have a whole bunch of very fit.
You don't get. The thing is, they don't show the morbidly obese people. They show kind of like a little bit overweight people.
Yes. And the same thing they do when they show the commercials for adult diapers. They show very functioning 50-year-old people, not the people that actually need adult diapers, which is going to be us a lot faster than we think.
Well, it's going to be really interesting if RFK position is approved and he says that he's going to remove all the pharma ads. I don't know what will happen. I think that's the only revenue coming into cable these days from pharma ads. So that's another topic.
I have a really important question for Dave. When are we coming up next? We'll be before the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, I believe so. It'll be probably the Friday right before the Super Bowl, or maybe a week before. Yeah.
Yep. So, who do we think will play in the Super Bowl? Lital, who do you think will play?
I have no idea. I don't even know anything about where we stand in terms of football.
You know the Patriots are not going to play, right?
Yeah. So I don't know.
Mahomes has a
Mahomes is gonna be there, so I'll bet on him.
I don't think he's going to be there.
I don't think he's going to be there.
I don't either. I think Bills and
Lions.
I'm rooting for Bills and Lions. That's the matchup America wants, right?
Okay, can I ask, what's the Lions?
Detroit.
Okay.
Detroit. In case you don't know, I'm freezing my ass.
Bills, I do know. Buffalo.
Yep.
Yes. I don't know. I think Rams, KC.
Rams, really?
Rams. Have you seen them play?
Yeah, they are hot. That's for sure.
How is the 49ers doing? Are they still in? Or
No,
out?
They are so out. The joke.
They didn't show up this year.
Okay. Okay.
They forgot to play.
Okay.
But the Rams look like the Giants.
Okay, Rams are
LA.
LA. Okay.
Yeah, they'll have the.
Do they still have the homes?
Well, right. They'll be America's pick. A lot of people say
I'm sure
they might have been inspired the other day by what the city is going through, and they managed to win. So that would be a big story.
They played well. They played well. They've tightened defense, and defense wins championships.
Being a spoiled Patriots fan, I'm rooting for the fan bases of either Buffalo or Detroit to finally have something to be happy about.
Well, if it would be Rams versus Bills, this would be really funny because the Bills will lose another Super Bowl.
They will, yeah.
Because we know for the fact the Bills cannot win Super Bowls.
No.
Exactly.
That's
All
what
right.
Bills stand for. Boy, I love losing Super Bowls.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
You know that.
For Lital that doesn't know, the Bills lost 4 Super Bowls in a row.
In a row.
1 to the Giants, 1 to the Redskins, and 2 to the Cowboys, which is the division we like to call the NFC least.
And one missed winning by about a foot and a half, right? With the ball sailed left. Yeah. Or right.
Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick.
That's right.
Bill takes credit for that one.
Right.
All right. With that, still have like 3 weeks to go, I think, before the Super Bowl. Well, everyone, I hope you liked this episode. If you're in marketing and think differently, let me know. If you're not in marketing and think differently, also let me know. Or let Didi know, or whatever. Keep it with you. We will be here next week. The Didi Lital Show is a weekly podcast. Please rate and review us. If there are topics you want us to cover, let us know. Till next time. Bye, Didi.
Bye, Lital.
See ya.
Bye. Yeah.